Hey, welcome back for another NRW review. This time we've got Utopia.
Yeah.
Episode 1 of Utopia. It was great. Episode 1, season 1 of Utopia. I enjoyed this so much, but I'm joined by my good friend, Loy Lee, Asian King of Comedy.com. I'm joined by Loy Lee. Loy Lee, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Good to see you. I'm excited for this one. Something that I actually enjoy for the first time.
And speaking of enjoy, the always enjoyable Kuya P. What's happening, Kuya P? What's going on?
Hey, what up? Yeah, after having to brave 5 episodes thus far of Raised by Wolves and still having to brave 5 more, I'm excited at least to talk about Utopia on Amazon Prime. Sorry, Glenn.
Click on the link.
We don't have to hate on another show to talk about. We don't do that in Utopia. It's Utopia. We're happy here. We're all happy here. And I'm Good Lords, and I'm happy in Utopia doing this review for episode 1, Life Begins of Utopia.
We all have our reasons for being in this world. We all have our purpose.
Utopia is a story about a genius scientist who made horrible viruses.
Ebola, MERS, Zika. Predicted in dystopia years before the first case in the real world.
Yeah, you're one of those, huh?
It all has to mean something.
What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world?
That's great. It starts with an earthquake.
You want to stay alive? Come with me. They need to kill every single person who's seen Utopia.
Snakes and airplane.
Everything in Utopia is real.
Viruses, biowarfare, man-made disease.
Bruce is not afraid.
I'm the foremost expert on this virus.
Jesus.
It's a pretty serious situation.
You bet your ass it's a serious situation.
Stern's flu has now been declared a national pandemic.
This is our undoing.
But we can fight it. We'd just be going into the belly of the beast, practically begging to be slaughtered.
Yes.
Yeah, what?
That's extreme.
How much evil do you have to do good?
None evil.
Guys, I really thought that this was weird. This whole show, it was so creepy to me because it felt so real. What y'all think? Just initial reaction.
Yeah.
I went in knowing absolutely nothing. I didn't look at anything. I didn't read a synopsis. I just hit play, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah.
And Kuyapi, what'd you think?
Yeah, I went in blind too, and then was pleasantly surprised. That's why I wanted you guys to check it out. For me, the biggest thing, was being in the con world. No, that's going to get into the other shit. But going in blind and then being pleasantly surprised, it was wild. And just like you said, Glenn, freaky as fuck. And because of what we're going to talk about from the experiences I've had and the kind of individuals I deal with when I'm in that environment, I'm going to be looking left and right next time, Glenn. You're with me a lot of those times. So, bruh, I'm going to be side-eyeing some of these cats when we're at these shows again.
Well, right. So, I mean, for me, just like you said, now I'm going to be thinking about every time when I'm dressing up or I'm cosplaying or seeing other people cosplay, I'm going to be really weirded out. For those of y'all who don't know, if y'all just jumped into Utopia or whatever, we'll just give a quick breakdown. Utopia centers around what would you call it? A comic book or a graphic novel?
A graphic novel.
A graphic novel. Named Dystopia that people are really, really into. They go to cons, they dress up with it, but there are hidden secrets within Dystopia. And when a young couple finds a sequel to Dystopia called Utopia.
Yeah.
They think they have hit the jackpot, and they are going to sell this jackpot to the highest bidder because there's so many people who love it. But there's an interesting twist when that jackpot holds clues and secrets that could lead to their demise. That was my breakdown of what's going on in Utopia. Guys, what do we think going deeper into the episode? First of all, it started out with a couple who you think are like, you know, they just hit the jackpot, but it doesn't end up being as fruitful as they would have hoped.
Yeah, I would have been like, what the fuck? We got to clean this shit. Like, let's just burn it all down. But we didn't. But yeah. They see the shit, and he stumbles across the artwork, and you know, I would have been blown out my mind too if I wasn't a comics fan. And let's sell the shit. But I would have educated myself a little bit more, which we find out later on. But yeah, that's pretty wild and very interesting start off premise.
I am at first like there's a sense of joy because I know you guys I know Glenn through comedy, but we enjoyed our friendship through cons. Pat, Queen P, I know you through cons. I know you through the comic world. Everything we've done is comic book related or con related. So it does touch my heart just a bit to begin with.
It looks like you're touching your titties right now.
I am. That's where is your heart?
You put your bosom together, and it just made me be like, whoa, what do you?
Because I don't know which side my heart is in. I've never actually seen it, so it's here somewhere underneath all of this love.
I think that's how stripping was created. It's like, I don't know where my heart is. It's like, just keep doing that, baby.
Just keep on.
I'll give you money until you find it.
Don't look me in the eyes. I will. No, I'd say that, you know, right off the bat, you go, oh, they found some artwork and then they somehow figured out it's worth something. That's the first thing I would do. Sell it. Why? Yeah. Why would I think that this comic book artwork would be the mass destruction of my life and everyone I know? Who would think that? I will say Comic-Con, going to Comic-Cons now scare me. I don't want to put a bid on anything out there.
But I thought it was very, very cool. Like the very first thing you see, because we don't know, like Dystopia is not something that is in our real world. We don't know how exciting this thing is. But the first thing you see is how excited everybody is when the post goes out. Like, hey, I'm going to be selling this thing. And everybody's like, drop what they're doing, drop the babies, drop the kids, drop the lunch, drop work or whatever, and be like, yo, it's the sequel.
Yeah. I think it was a great setup as a writer.
Yeah.
I'm doing a brand new show. We set up the premise. You already get it out the bat. You can relate with that. Got a new house, find some stuff, don't know what it's about, gonna sell it, put it out online, which is, you know, now our generation, that's what we do. And then all these different people tapping into it and having a fandom for it. So great way to introduce all these various cast of characters, and then you bring them all together at a convention, which we all are very familiar with from being at conventions, and how, you know, all these different people of different personalities and ways of life come together. And then we get into the nitty gritty and just how this all comes together. As a writer, that's another thing that caught me off the bat. But also the conspiracy theorist in me, which I think some of you guys are a little bit into conspiracy theories, how it kind of melded that in there. And then as an artist and as creative, and when you, especially if you're very detailed into how you present something, or you kind of have something hidden in it, to weave that into the artwork and what these fans are really, you know, that are just seeing it for themselves as just pure entertainment. But then there's the group of 5 that we know that are going to be the main characters that we're going to follow, how they see something there even more. Just really well done from a creative standpoint, personally, that I thought that I loved.
Speaking of well done, did you guys think that it was very accurate in terms of the con life and the way that the con, I guess, that whole society or that whole culture was portrayed in the show?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say because I'm new. I'm a newbie to the scene and everything, but it was very easy to follow, and it felt very real to me as far as within the realm of possibility. And I really didn't know what I was getting into until like the end part. And then I really thought it was about comic books, and then I realized very quickly it wasn't. I thought it was a Comic-Con lifestyle show because I knew nothing about it, and I was everything was very, very easy to follow for me, being new.
What I really enjoyed was when I forget what the young, what's the girl's name? The one lady who was explaining like how everything was forming together. Okay, you guys don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. I'm trying to look for it real quick.
Here's what I liked.
I liked the
fact
that girl?
the blonde girl, when she started talking about how the conspiracy's all linked up and like, look at this leaf. It's shaped like Uganda. Because I really get into things and I really am like, oh, you don't understand. They did this because of this and that and then it's all coming together. And then you see all the other people like, dude, I just like bunnies and chicks with cleavage. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're totally not into it. But then, the other guy comes in, he's like, you totally know. I thought that was really cool.
That's why I thought it was about like the comic book lifestyle. Because it just seemed like it showed two very stark different cultures in it, and I feel from my observation that it felt very real. I thought I was all about being a comic book show.
What did you guys think of the artwork of Dystopia when you're looking at like the rabbits and the weird stuff and the sledgehammering or killings that are depicted in the comics? I was like, yo, this is creepy. I don't know if that would have been something that I became a super fanboy of.
I think they chose a super dope artist. I still have been meaning to, after having watched it, look up who they actually used to, because I think because I'm a big, being in this game, I kind of know the artist as soon as I see kind of like the artwork. I have a couple ideas off bat who the artist is, but I don't know for sure. So I'm going to look that up. But I think they chose the perfect artist to represent that, to if you want your characters to find hidden meanings within the artwork and the way the design is, they chose a perfect artist that also kind of has that horror crazy feel to it. So for me, on a creative standpoint, just everything they're doing is really good in presentation.
Well,
wow.
Yeah. Part of the presentation is talking about viruses and created viruses, which is, I don't know if they realized that we were going to be in the middle of a pandemic, but it's really creepy because they're talking about created viruses.
Yeah.
And that's what is being depicted in Dystopia. And those are part of the clues that they're looking at. And, they've figured out like, oh, they're sending out new viruses and it's all like being broadcast or foreshadowed in this comic. But what did y'all think about that and how it touched on the elements of what's happening to us today?
Well, now that I know that that's kind of where it's going, after watching the first episode, I understand that that's where it's going. It's like, how deep are they going to go? Like how like tongue in cheek, how specific are they going to get? Like, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. Same. I mean, it's really interesting to see, how they put that in there. And if by the end of it, they're like, yeah, we were trying to tell you that fucking coronavirus ain't real or that it was created. You know what I mean? Like, do you think that that's the way that they're going to go by the end of the show?
I don't think so, but it made this just even more intriguing,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they didn't foresee this occurring, or of how they timed the release of this show, because this was filmed last year, I'm sure, and all that.
You can't just film something and have it out.
It's crazy, and that's, I think, why it's also so striking for speaking for myself personally. Like, damn, the mirror image, of what's going on in society today. Right. But yeah, I can't wait to see how it's all gonna roll out. But the conspiracy theorists, that to me, that's what all five of these characters are, that have found each other and are now figuring this all out. So how we're gonna come through and break this all down is just gonna be a absolutely fun ride. Yeah. But for the other side of the things, can we hit on the bad guys? Who are also looking for the artwork?
That's what I was about to say. Speaking of unforeseen occurrences, the two people who found the comic book, it's unforeseen what that auction that they had for the new book was going to lead to, and it actually leads to a couple of weird bad guys showing up at their door trying to take off with the Utopia manuscript that is brand new. What did y'all think about that scene? They threw a little party, they had a little auction for it, and then all of a sudden, it gets bought out, and then the weird guys come in like, yo, we want the thing. Artwork.
Yeah.
What'd y'all think?
Dope. I loved how we built upon the characters. They were at the bar, they're kind of doing their thing, but then this other guy had it, and then the little kid who wasn't involved with that stumbles across. It was fun. Lloyd. Yep.
I mean, it was at that moment where I realized, oh, this is not what I thought it was. And that was like, oh, the first thing of the roller coaster. I was like going, oh, okay, I know where this is going. I know where this is going. And then it turned. I was like, oh, don't.
Yeah.
I deleted all of my eBay account. Like, I'm not bidding on anything anymore.
Well, I guess because when I was watching it, the thing that I thought was going to happen was the guy who came in and he just threw down all the money like, yo, I'm taking it, whatever the cost. And he just throws down like 20 G's on it. And then he takes off. I was like, oh, that's going to be the guy. He's a bad guy. But that wasn't the case. And then you get the little kid who comes there. It's like, yo, is this little kid going to be somebody who's part of the conspiracy? But then that's not the case. And then you get the real bad guys who come in and they have that creepy moment where it's like they stick everybody up and they're like, all right, everybody stand here and we're going to give you a shot. What did y'all think about that?
I thought it was dope. But before I just want to reel what I thought was dope. How the kid got the key to get into the room was kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, that was my father or whatever. That was just real slick. I love that little aspect of it, how he got the key card to get into the room. But yeah, when the guys were in there in the party room, the bad guys, and they were sticking everybody, that was kind of, I hate needles. And then just seeing all the people pass out as they all got hit, and dude, you fucked up. Yeah. You know?
I mean, the big thing is like never get into the van, fight for your life to get out of the van. That's exactly. Someone's like, hey, we're going to inject you. Nope. Fight. Fight to
Lloyd,
the death.
Lloyd, I think you were on the same page as I was. I was like, what are you doing? There's 2 of them. There's 5 of us. We're going to fight. They put the gun down. No, we're fighting. I'm knocking you the fuck out. You're not sticking anything in my arm.
You're the one guy, and you're like, it's going to be okay. Like, you're the one guy in the room.
Plus, you're skinny, dude. You're skinny. You clearly don't train to fight. I will punch you in the forehead. Get the fuck out of here. You're not putting anything in my...
She's like the second to last person to get stuck, and I was like, while she was sticking other people, you couldn't have hit him over the head with anything?
Yeah, exactly. They just all stood there and took it. I was like, okay, well, I guess y'all deserve it.
Yeah.
So that was weird. And in the meantime, guy who had 20 G's, he goes off to party because he think he won. Yeah. And then little kid who tried to go in and get his little comic book, he uses his little cuteness to get over on the hotel attendant. How many times have you done that, Patrick, where you walk up to the front desk person and say, can you help me get my key back to my room?
I don't think I was cute enough, but I found a way.
I flirt with housekeeping.
So little kid sneaks into the room. I guess we'll just call him Grant. But it's very smart how he used the little card and he figured out who was the person who bought it, and then just put his first name with the last name, and then use his cuteness to get into the room.
I mean, that's how we find out that is Grant. Like we didn't know that was Grant until we see the name on the name tag on the card.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I thought it was Grant because they said, "Where's Grant?" and then it cut to him. So I just assumed that
no. It's a safe assumption, but we didn't know. We didn't know until we saw the name on the card.
Right. See, I think assumptions is where we get messed up in Raised by Wolves. Anyways, back to this one.
click the link.
But little Grant goes in there. He gets the manuscript, which is super dope. And then he does his little Home Alone thing where he's like, yo, this room is tight. So he starts having fun in it. He starts, getting in the tub and stuff. And then right when he does that, he gets interrupted by some grown-ups trying to have some grown-up time with a cute little cosplayer. What did y'all think of the interruption?
I mean, the cosplay chick was dope.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but I'm there. I'm there for that.
I was with it, and then from that moment, we get to meet the other baddies who meet up with Philip Carson because they get his name from the auction, and then they come in there, and then the dudes meet up with the cosplay girl, and she's being all cutesy. And then they fucking shoot her, which is how I knew this was going to be super raw. Because up until that point, there wasn't like any extreme violence. They had like they drugged the kids. You don't know if they had like killed the kids because it's just like something shot in their arm. But at that point, you're like, whoa, this is about to be wild.
It gets gangster,
real gangster shit.
And and little Granty Carson, he sneaks out and runs away, and he gets away with the manuscript.
Yeah.
I think that's always my biggest frustration. While he's dancing dancing in the thing, jumping on the bed, that's where we always fuck up in the movies. That's where and that's what happens. Like if you just grabbed it and left, you would have been fine.
Listen, here's the thing. In the movies, never celebrate. Anytime you celebrate, anytime you're trying to enjoy the room you're not supposed to be in, shit goes wrong.
Don't monologue, right? If you're victory, don't monologue and tell them all your plans before you kill them. Kill them and then tell them what you're going to do. Don't celebrate. I agree.
Yeah. Yep. Also, don't try to fuck. That is also a way to end up getting killed.
What I do want to know, that guy that did buy it for $20K. Like, I want to know his backstory. I'm hoping that they somehow comes back.
Yeah,
Philip Carson. I don't think so. I think that dude's done because he's done.
I would like to know. I would like to know.
But from that moment, we rush off. Grant Carson runs off, and then we get to see how diabolical the bad guys are as they systematically go through the auction and find everybody that was on the list and take them all out.
And that was a gangsta dope sequence that was just really cool. How they went about going to each room, handling business. I was Dude, so on some of the doors, hey, do you this? Boom, pop. You this guy, pop. And then finally just didn't even bother opening the door. They just knock. They look through the peephole and just pop.
What about the last guy that they got where they figured out, oh, this guy has a history of mental illness because they were checking on everybody.
Oh yeah.
And then when they get to him, they're like, yo, what's that over there? Or is that that's a nice dresser, making him turn his head and then shoots him in the side of the head and stages it to make it look like a suicide. I was like, yo, that's diabolical. Those dudes are fucked up.
Yeah, every crime needs a patsy.
But after that moment or during that moment, we also get to meet one of the main characters from the Dystopia graphic novel, Jessica Hyde. We get to figure out that she is actually real because she comes into the auction and she gets to see one of the drugged party goers or one of the drugged original sellers of Utopia, and we find out she is real, and she goes through and tries to figure out if she can get a hold of Utopia as well, because I guess she needs it too. What did you think about Jessica Hyde being real?
Ready to learn more. So now we know that some of this is based on the reality, their real world. I'm ready.
If she turns out to be a cosplayer and just saying that she's crazy, I'm gonna be very upset.
Well, shit, I don't think she's crazy because as it goes on, we get to see more and more of the diabolical dudes. They end up meeting up with some of our more conspiratorial cosplayers or fans of Dystopia and really putting him through the ringer. And he's only saved by Jessica Hyde. So I think she's the real deal because I think a cosplayer would not put an axe in someone's head.
Oh, I hope not, because if that's the thing, then I'm not going to any more conventions ever.
But shit. So that was. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I might have skipped ahead and gave you guys a little glimpse into episode.
I was gonna say that's episode. That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Was that episode 2?
Did you skip to episode 2 on us already?
I might have skipped to episode 2 because I was so excited. But not to worry. We will have a full review of episode 2 in the weeks to come. You could probably click that link over here.
It's probably if you're watching it, it's probably already right here.
Yeah, it's probably already right there. But I think this is a good point to stop because I don't want to get into any more. I really, really enjoyed this. I really, really had fun, as well as being very, very creeped out by all the conspiracy theory and the con stuff and how now I'm going to be looking at my comics much more intently. Like, wait, is there a message here?
What does Miles mean by when he says that? Is he predicting a pandemic?
All right. Well, there'll be no subterfuge or no hidden messages here. We'll just give it to you straight. Lloyd Lee, where can they find you?
Lloyd Lee Comedy across all your social media websites. LOYLEE Comedy. I'm always working on new things, this, that, the other. Check me out, and you'll follow along.
Okay. And then last thing, Lloyd, what did you think of the episode?
Dope. Like I said, this roller coaster, like the further along in this episode I got, I thought that the first hill of the roller coaster dropped, and I realized that no, it's just building, just building, just building. I'm excited.
Nice. All right. That's Lloyd Lee, AsianKingOfComedy.com. You can find him at Lloyd Lee Comedy and all the socials and whatnot. Kuya P, where can they find you and what did you think of the episode?
At Soap on Far East, at Strange Since 1977, and at New Release Wednesday, and at The Nerds of Color. And stay tuned to the Show coming soon. I really enjoyed this episode. I can't wait to see more. And again, because I'm about that con life, I will be looking at some of y'all motherfuckers sideways because this y'all taking this shit too far. Y'all getting a little crazy. So this is gonna have me looking at y'all a little differently.
All right, and I mean, I've always looked at everybody like they were part of a major conspiracy, and that's just what I do as Glenn Lawrence Comedy. You find it on your YouTubes or your Instagrams. Also, Level Up Comedy. Find me there on your Instagrams, YouTubes, all that good stuff. I loved it. Loved the first episode. As you can see, I'm already ready to jump into episode 2.
Yeah.
We'll meet you there next time for it. For the NRW, I'm Glenn Lawrence signing off with Kuya P and Lloyd Lee. Everybody, check out Utopia. Dope new show. But be prepared because it might scare the pants off you. All right, we out.
Bye.